There's a certain kind of closeness that doesn't need to be spoken, confessed, or even consciously acknowledged. It simply shows itself through the smallest actions, the softest gestures, and the quietest moments. Sometimes a man doesn't say he cares, but his presence, his body language, and the way he behaves around you reveal a truth he may not even be ready to express. Love, attraction, and emotional connection rarely begin with big statements. They begin with subtle signals that show how comfortable he feels in your energy and how much he values being near you. A man's heart is quiet, but his behavior is loud. You might notice how his mood shifts the moment you enter the room, how he straightens up, softens his tone, or lets a natural smile appear without thinking. You might see how he stops what he's doing to listen, how his eyes follow you even when he tries to hide it, or how he leans in a little closer just to feel the warmth of your presence. These are not coincidences. These are the psychological traces of emotional attachment, signs that he feels safe, drawn, and connected to you in ways he doesn't feel with others. It's easy to assume that if he hasn't said anything, he doesn't feel anything. But men often show affection through action rather than words. They reveal their feelings in the way they stay longer, the way they quiet down when you leave, and the way their energy becomes lighter and calmer when you are near. They communicate through subtle behaviors, adjusting their pace to match yours, mirroring your movements, noticing tiny details about you, or opening up only when you're present. These actions don't happen around just anyone. They happen around someone who matters. His presence speaks volumes. When a man loves being around you, his entire nervous system responds. His eyes become more attentive, his smile becomes more genuine, and his behavior becomes more thoughtful. He becomes more present, more engaged, and more aware of your comfort. He may not say, "I like you," but his body speaks the language long before he does. Each movement, each glance, each shift in his behavior is a quiet confession, the kind that slips out naturally, without thinking. This intro will help you understand that love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. If you've ever wondered whether he feels something deeper, whether he enjoys your presence more than he admits, or whether you have a place in his emotional world, the signs are already there, written in the way he acts when you walk in, stand near him, or simply exist in the same space. These subtle signals can reveal everything he's too shy, too scared, or too unsure to say out loud. And once you start noticing them, you'll realize just how much a man's heart speaks through simple actions, and how deeply he feels, even in silence. 1. He can't stop glancing at you. When a man keeps glancing at you, it reveals more than simple curiosity. It shows emotional pull, attraction, and a subconscious need to feel connected to you. These glances aren't random. They come in different forms depending on what he feels. Sometimes it's a quick side eye when you're laughing, just so he can see your smile. Other times he watches you when you're not speaking, trying to read your mood, your energy, and the smallest shifts in your expressions. This happens because your presence activates his attention system, the psychological pattern that causes men to focus more intensely on someone they care about. He may try to act normal, but his eyes betray him. He checks if you noticed him. He looks away quickly when you catch him. He looks again just to reassure himself that you're still near. He observes things about you that others miss. The way you adjust your hair, how you move your hands, how you react in conversations. Even in group settings, his eyes always return to you. If you move across the room, his gaze follows naturally without him realizing. These glances are his way of staying emotionally close, even when he can't physically express it. It's silent affection. 2. He finds excuses to stand close. When a man truly loves being near you, he doesn't always say it. Instead, he shows it through small, almost invisible actions. One of the strongest signs is how he creates subtle excuses to be close to you. He might stand beside you during group conversations, even if he originally entered the room from the opposite side. He may pretend to look for something near your spot just to be within your space. He may adjust his seating so he's closer than necessary or stand beside you while waiting in a line, even if there's more room elsewhere. These excuses aren't accidental. They're instinctive. Being physically near you gives him comfort. Your presence regulates his emotions, lowering stress, increasing calmness, and making him feel grounded. He chooses closeness because he feels drawn to your energy. Even small tasks become opportunities to be near you, helping you reach something, handing you something simple, offering to walk with you, or standing near you during a discussion. He feels connected when he's close, and that closeness becomes his safe zone. If he positions himself around you more than anyone else, it's because you're the place his heart naturally gravitates toward. 3. His body naturally leans toward you. Body language never lies, especially when it comes to attraction. When someone leans toward you, even slightly, it reveals emotional comfort, trust, and an unconscious desire to connect. Men don't lean toward people they dislike or feel neutral about. Leaning is instinctive, not planned. He may tilt his head closer when you talk, shift his shoulders in your direction, or angle his knees towards you when sitting. If he's standing, he might lean in subtly even if he doesn't realize it. This behavior comes from a biological response. When a man feels drawn to someone, his body tries to reduce distance automatically. Leaning in shows he feels safe with you. Your voice, your presence, and your energy relax him. Even in a loud or busy environment, he will incline his body in your direction to stay connected. This also shows emotional investment. He's not just hearing your words, he's absorbing them. He wants to catch every small detail you say. This natural lean happens even during silence. His body still faces you, signaling comfort and interest. When you move slightly away, he may shift close again without thinking. This consistent leaning is his heart speaking through posture. 4. He smiles more when you're around. When a man smiles more around you, it's not just friendliness, it's emotional chemistry revealing itself through his natural reactions. Smiling is one of the strongest subconscious indicators of affection. Even if he is usually reserved, serious, or quiet, something about your presence triggers a softer side of him. The smile he gives you is different from the one he offers others. It lasts a little longer, appears a little faster, and sometimes shows up without any logical reason. You might say something ordinary, and he smiles like it meant more. You might simply walk into the room, and his face lights up before he can control it. This happens because you activate his dopamine, the brain chemical linked to joy, comfort, and emotional connection. Your presence becomes his happy place, even if he doesn't express it verbally. He feels more open, more alive, and more relaxed when you're near him. His smile is his body's way of saying, "I feel good when you're here." Sometimes, he'll try to hide it, looking down, covering his mouth, or acting like something else made him smile. But the timing reveals the truth. The moment you approach, the smile appears. In a crowd, he only smiles like that when you speak. If you leave, that natural glow fades slightly. These are not random gestures. They are signs that he genuinely loves the way you make him feel, and he can't help but show it. 5. He slows down his pace to match yours. When a man truly values your presence, his body adjusts to your rhythm without him even realizing it. One of the strongest signs of emotional connection is how he changes his pace to match yours, whether you're walking, talking, or working on something together. Men naturally walk faster than women, but a man who cares will slow down without being asked. If you pause, he pauses. If you walk leisurely, he eases his pace. If you're nervous, he becomes calmer. If you're excited, he responds with the same energy. This synchronization is called attunement, a psychological behavior seen in people who feel deeply connected. Matching your pace allows him to stay close, stay aligned, and maintain a sense of togetherness. It also shows protection. He subconsciously wants to make sure you're comfortable, safe, and not left behind. This happens even in conversations. If you speak softly, he lowers his voice too. If you talk faster, he speeds up to follow your excitement. When you hesitate, he gives you space. When you're emotional, he becomes steady. This synchronized rhythm is his heart matching yours. It's not intentional, it's instinct. Being in sync feels natural to him because being near you feels natural. And that is one of the purest signs he loves being around you more than he openly shows. 6. He mirrors your movements without realizing. Mirroring is one of the strongest psychological indicators of attraction and emotional closeness. When a man mirrors your movements, adjusting his posture when you adjust yours, crossing his arms when you do, leaning in when you lean, matching your tone, or copying your expressions, it means his body is subconsciously aligning with yours. Humans only mirror people they feel connected to. He isn't doing it consciously. His brain is trying to bond with you on a deeper level. His nervous system responds to your presence like a magnet, pulling him into your rhythm. If you smile, he smiles. If you take a sip of your drink, he may take one too. If you fix your hair, he might touch his. If you sit back, he follows. This behavior shows emotional harmony, a silent dance of connection where he naturally adapts to your energy. Mirroring also means is paying close attention to you. He notices your movements even in small ways and responds without realizing he's doing it. This is how the body communicates closeness before the mouth says a single word. It's a sign that he feels aligned with you, safe with you, and emotionally drawn to you. If his body consistently mirrors yours, he's not just comfortable, he's deeply connected. 7. He listens more attentively to you. When a man listens to you with more attention than he gives anyone else, it's one of the clearest signs that your presence matters to him. This isn't regular listening. This is a deeper, more focused kind of attention. He remembers things you say even if they seem small or insignificant. He recalls your preferences, your stories, your worries, and your opinions. When you talk, he isn't waiting for his turn to speak. He's genuinely absorbing your words. His eyes may soften, his posture leans slightly forward, and his entire body cues show that his mind is centered on you and nothing else. He may ask thoughtful follow-up questions, not because he feels obligated, but because he wants to understand you better. Even if he's busy, stressed, or distracted, your voice cuts through the noise and pulls him back into the moment. He listens with intention because your words hold emotional weight for him. This attentiveness also appears in small ways. He puts his phone down when you speak, he stops multitasking, he responds with empathy, and he reacts to your emotions instead of just your words. When a man listens to you like that, it shows that he values your thoughts, respects your mind, and feels deeply connected to your presence. He hears you completely. 8. He notices small details about you. A man who loves being near you notices things others overlook, and he notices them without trying. Maybe he realizes you changed your perfume, or that your mood shifted slightly, or that you trimmed your hair just a little. He might catch subtle changes in your tone, your expressions, or the way you choose your outfits. These small observations reveal that he pays attention not just to what you show the world, but to the details that make you you. He might comment on things you didn't expect him to notice. The way you tuck your hair behind your ear, the specific laugh you have when you're genuinely amused, the words you use when you're tired, or how your eyes look brighter when you're happy. This level of awareness comes from emotional investment. He watches you closely because your presence matters to him. It's not obsession. It's admiration, interest, and genuine care. Even when he doesn't mention these details aloud, he still sees them. He connects dots others don't even notice. This means your presence has a unique impact on him. You stand out in his world, and he sees everything that makes you special. 9. He gets nervous when you come near. Nervousness is one of the most honest indicators of hidden feelings. When a man gets nervous around you, it shows that your presence affects him emotionally and physically. His nervousness can appear through small signs: fidgeting with his hands, adjusting his clothes, fixing his hair, clearing his throat, or suddenly speaking faster or slower. His voice may shift, his posture might stiffen or relax too much, and his words may stumble slightly. This nervousness comes from wanting to make a good impression. He cares how you perceive him. Your presence raises his heart rate, activates his adrenaline, and makes him hyper-aware of himself. Even confident men get nervous when someone they care about stands close. He wants to appear calm, interesting, or attractive, but his emotions get ahead of him. He may try to hide it with jokes, awkward smiles, or unnecessary comments, but the nervous energy shows nonetheless. He is nervous because he feels something. Your presence matters to him, and that nervousness is actually a deeper form of respect. He values you enough to worry about how he shows up in front of you. 10. He stays longer even when he doesn't need to. When a man stays longer than necessary, it reveals an emotional truth he may not be ready to say out loud. Your presence feels like comfort to him. Even if the situation doesn't require him to stay, he finds subtle reasons to remain close. Maybe the conversation already ended, but he lingers for just one more thing. Maybe the group is leaving, but he stands a little longer near you before walking away. Maybe he finishes a task but moves slowly, giving you chances to talk or simply exist in the same space. This lingering isn't accidental, it's emotional gravity. Your presence pulls him in, softens his inner world, and makes time feel slower. Being around you gives him a sense of peace he doesn't get from others. He may pretend he's staying for practical reasons, but psychologically, he's staying because you make him feel understood, grounded, and alive in a quiet way. Even in simple moments, waiting for you to finish something, handing you something slowly, staying with you during a break, his body resists the urge to leave. A man only stays longer when being near you matters more to him than anything else happening around him. His lingering presence is his heart speaking without words. 11. He protects your personal space subtly. When a man cares deeply, his protective instincts appear in gentle, respectful ways, not controlling or loud, but soft and instinctive. One of the strongest signs is how he subtly protects your space. If you're walking through a crowded area, he may naturally position himself on the side where people are passing, creating a shield without making it obvious. If someone stands too close to you, he subtly shifts his body closer, creating a comfortable boundary. If you're carrying something heavy, he notices immediately. If you look uneasy, he adjusts himself to make you feel safe. These actions show emotional attachment. He wants you to feel secure simply because you're important to him. He reads your body language before others do. He notices when you're uncomfortable, even when you try to hide it. He naturally steps in without being asked, in a way that doesn't invade your independence. This is primal, instinctive male psychology. Men guard what they value. He may not express his feelings openly, but his protective behavior reveals how deeply your presence affects him. His priority becomes your comfort, safety, and peace, which is something he only does for someone who means more to him than he admits. 12. He shares things only when you're around. A man's sharing habits reveal the depth of his emotional connection. When he saves certain thoughts, stories, jokes, or memories specifically for you, it means your presence unlocks a deeper version of him. He may appear quiet with others but opens up when you walk in. He feels more expressive, more understood, and more himself around you. He shares things he normally keeps private. His goals, his fears, his childhood memories, the things that inspire him, and even the small details of his day. He trusts you with information he doesn't give freely. This happens because you create a safe emotional space for him, even without trying. Your energy makes him feel seen. He also waits for your reaction. Your approval, your smile, your laughter matter to him. If he shares his ideas, plans, or personal struggles only when you're near, it means he sees you as someone who understands him on a deeper level. Emotional sharing is intimacy, the kind that forms without physical touch. When he saves his stories for you, he is choosing you as his emotional home, even if he hasn't said the words out loud. 13. He tries to make you laugh more often. When a man puts extra effort into making you laugh, it's because your happiness directly affects his own emotional world. Humor becomes his way of creating connection, easing tension, and showing affection without having to confess his feelings outright. He may crack small jokes, tease you in a light-hearted way, or say something playful just to see your smile. Even if he isn't naturally funny, he tries, and that effort alone says everything. He cares about the atmosphere between you. He wants your time together to feel easy, warm, and enjoyable. If he notices that you're stressed, he tries to lighten your mood. If you're quiet, he tries to draw you out. If you're sad, he becomes softer, choosing comforting humor instead of playful teasing. He studies what makes you laugh, the type of jokes you respond to, the tone you prefer, the little things you find funny. And once he learns your style of humor, he repeats it intentionally. Making you laugh isn't just a joke to him. It's reassurance. It shows him you're comfortable, that you enjoy him, and that his presence brings something positive to your day. Men only try this hard when they care deeply. Laughter becomes his way of saying, I want to be the reason you're smiling. 14. He looks relaxed in your presence. One of the strongest signs of emotional attraction is how a man's entire body language changes around someone he feels connected to. When he's near you, his shoulders drop, his tone softens, and his expressions become gentler. His guard comes down in ways it doesn't with others. Even if he's naturally tense or introverted, something about your presence calms him. Maybe it's your voice, your energy, or the simple comfort of being understood without judgment. You become a safe space for him, without him consciously realizing it. He doesn't feel the need to impress you constantly. Instead, he feels like he can just exist. His breathing slows when he talks to you. His gestures become more natural. He may smile more softly, lean closer, or sit in a more open posture. This comfort is rare for men because they usually hide their emotions behind seriousness or control. But with you, he feels at ease. Your presence gives him emotional clarity, grounding, and peace. He feels lighter, warmer, and more centered when you're near. That calmness is not coincidence, it's connection. Being around you feels like relief, and that's one of the most meaningful signs he loves being near you more than he admits. 15. He acts differently when you walk away. A man's reaction when you leave the room reveals the truth he hides when you're in it. When you walk away, even for a moment, his behavior shifts in small but telling ways. His energy may drop slightly, his smile fades, or he becomes quieter. If he was engaged in conversation, he might lose focus. If he was laughing, the atmosphere may suddenly change. This happens because your presence elevates his emotional state, and your absence creates a subtle emptiness he cannot hide. Sometimes he glances to see where you went. Other times he becomes less lively, as if the spark in the room dimmed. If he is comfortable around you, he feels that contrast even more strongly. When you return, his expression may brighten instantly. He may stand straighter, or he may re-engage in the conversation with more enthusiasm. His entire mood realigns the moment he senses you nearby again. This shift is not dramatic or obvious. It's subtle, gentle, and deeply emotional. It shows that you're not just another person in the room. You're the emotional anchor he subconsciously responds to. When your absence affects him, even in small ways, it's because your presence means more to him than is ready to admit out loud.